Everyone, welcome back. It's mostly Maddie. Thank you for being here. If you're new to my channel, hi, hello, and welcome. We talk all things planners, journals, stationery, all that good stuff. And if you're returning, hi, thank you for being patient with me. We are in our new place and have officially moved, so I can hopefully get back to recording some YouTube, more longer form content in the future. It was a little tricky there for a while, but I feel like we're getting settled. I'm at my new journaling desk. And today I want to talk about my 2025 planner setup and systems, kind of what each journal looks like, how I've set them all up, and what I plan to use each one for. So if that is something that interests you, please feel free to stick around. Now, before I go into each system, I will tell you what all I'm using, and then if you are interested in one in particular, I will see if I can make it so you can skip ahead to each area, or I'll put on the screen like what minute marker so you can jump to that if there's one in particular that you're interested in. The first one is the Hobonichi Weeks. This will be my third or fourth year using the Hobonichi Weeks, and this is going to be for my health and hobbies. Next, we have the Hobonichi Hon. This is the A6 size, and I will be using this just for an everyday carry, to-do list, notes, things like that. Now, this beauty is new to me this year. This is actually just a leather cover, but the planner itself is the Rosey Life planner. This is the A5 2025. This is going to be replacing what I was using in 2024, which was the Hobonichi cousin. This is for all of my memory keeping for my family. Last, we have a new item to the lineup as well. I'm really excited for this one, and this is the Wonderland222, which the logo was right here. I covered it up with a little sticker though, and this is also an A5, and I believe it's the weekends stacked. I know they have quite a few versions of their planners, but I believe I did the weekends stacked. So now that you kind of know what I plan to be using, now these are just my 2025 planners. I also am continuing in 2025 my junk journal, and that kind of just changes depending on when I finish it. It doesn't go by the year since these aren't dated. I just do it whenever I feel like it. Right now I'm in the Leuchtturm 1917 A5 hardcover, and I have like 2 pages left in here, so I'm going to be starting a new one. Almost it lines up perfectly with the new year, which is funny that happened that way. And continuing into the new year as well is I have my hiking adventures, where this is where I track all of our hikes from the year and just put some pictures and just little stickers and fun ways to capture, because I am a photographer and I love being able to print my photos and put them somewhere. And this is kind of where that's going. I might just peel this off because this is going to take me into 2025. There's no reason that I need to start a new one. Also have the coffee journal, which I started, and I absolutely love this, and I'm definitely going to be keeping up with this. I should mention these are both MD, whoops, I got something attached to me here. These are both MD Midori, and they are obviously different sizes. This is the passport size, and then this one is not a traveler's size. It's like a little bit smaller than that, because if you compare it to the Hobonichi Weeks, it's a little bit shorter, but it's a really great size. I really like this, and they are both grids on the inside, which doesn't really matter since they get covered up anyway, but I figured I would just let you know that those are what these are. They're super reasonably priced. I got both of these, I believe, off Amazon. I might have gotten one off jetpens.com. I'm not entirely sure. And for the stickers on here, this is all Unicorn Eclipse. I used a sticker sheet from them, and then this is a vinyl as well as this one. And for the coffee journal, I believe these are, okay, hang on, let me check. Creator for these stickers is Blossom Bougeot Store. So that's where the stickers for the front of my coffee journal came from, the letters, and then also the little coffee stickers themselves. I also am using a 2025 Sterling Ink monthly booklet, and this is going to be my ink log for the new year. I am using the monthly views as a way to log all of the different inks that I have and kind of categorizing them by the shade. I obviously will run out of space eventually for each of these shades, and that will be future me's problem. I don't know if I will just continue them on to because there's still a ton of monthly pages left. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I liked having them kind of condensed together, and just so it's an easy thing for me to reference, and I will just keep this on my desk so that I can always reference my inks when I need to. I promise I'm almost done. The last thing that I am hoping to implement in 2025 is doing morning pages, which I'm not going to show you because you're not supposed to show them to anybody, but I was just going to show you the inside of where I put it. So it's volume 1, and this is from the Julia Cameron, The Artist's Way book, and she recommends writing at least 3 stream of conscious writing, 3 pages every morning. And so I'm going to attempt to do that in here. Again, this is an MD Midori. Now this one is an A5 and it's lined. It actually came when I needed a clear cover for my Hobonichi for 2024, and I could not find a clear cover except for one on Amazon, and it came with this notebook. So I'm actually really happy that I found something to use this notebook for, because it felt really wasteful buying it, not knowing what I was going to do with it. But it's lined, and it's the only notebook I have that is lined because I love the dotted and the graph. So this will be perfect for the morning pages. I might decorate this too. I don't know. We'll see. I'm just going to leave it blank for now and just kind of no frills in this one and just let my thoughts live in here. And now we can get into the good stuff. So I will start off with the Hobonichi Weeks. As I mentioned, this is going to be for health and hobbies, and my hobbies are basically journaling and reading and running, but the health part is also running. So that's why I thought this would be a really great blend of the two things. Now, in the past, I have used my Hobonichi Weeks I'm totally switching it up this year. I have never done I've really kind of used as a traditional planner, kind of showcasing what happened during the week. I was tracking our time outside to try to get 1,000 hours outside. So I broke this up and did time outside. And then this would change every week. I would do daily gratitude if I was tracking my spending for that week, kind of just a sentence or two about the day so that I could put it in my bigger Hobonichi later on in the week. And then I did habit tracking, to-do lists, and then kind of it really depended on the week. But as you guys know, I am a huge Hobonichi Weeks fan, and so I wanted to find a way. The problem with this is, since I bought the Hobonichi Cousin and started doing my memory keeping in there, some of this stuff started to feel redundant, where I was kind of writing twice, and I just didn't love that. I want each notebook and journal to serve its own purpose and not have really any crossover, because when that starts to happen for me, it just starts to become not as enjoyable. So all this year, I was like, how can I use a Hobonichi Weeks for the following year? And that's kind of how the health and hobbies became to life. I was highly inspired by Helen from the Coffee Monster Co. She's using her Hobonichi Weeks for, I think, just health stuff. And so I took some ideas from her and then meshed it with, I believe it was Bronte Plans. She also uses her Hobonichi Weeks for, I think hers is just reading. And basically that's what mine is. It's a mashup of reading and my health stuff, because like I said, my hobbies are basically journaling and reading. And so when I say it's a health and hobbies journal, the hobbies are essentially reading. But I like to keep it open-ended in case I do want to add anything else in there. So that just kind of gives you an idea of where I was with the Hobonichi Weeks for this year and what I plan to do for 2025. Now we can kind of get into the setup here. So obviously I had to do some stickers in here and just showcasing what this journal's intentions, what it's for. The splat, I do Orange Theory, which is a group fitness class, and you earn splat points during the workout. So that's what the splat is, in case you were like, why does she have the word splat in here? And then I just covered up this page because I wanted to add something. And then I have my little baby cherub here. I just love her. She's up to no good. I don't know. I almost put her on the front, but I switched it up. The stickers on the front are Art by Elowen. I hope I'm saying your name right. And then this is from the Coffee Monster Co. from Helen. And the washi tape, I believe, is from an Archer and Olive order. I'm not 100% sure about that washi tape. And these stickers are, this one I believe is from Amy from Happy Olive Studio, and then these, you can kind of tell they came from the same sticker pack. These are Unicorn Eclipse. I have no idea where I got this. Support your public libraries, but I love it. And because most of my reading is done through the library, it just felt really fitting to put that in there. For this page, I don't have any plans for it as of right now. That could change. I've never used this page in any of my planners ever in my life. So I don't know if 2025 is going to be the year that I start. I'm not sure what I would use this for, but I don't know. We'll see. Then when we get into the kind of year at a glance, this is where I'm going to be doing my exercise tracking. And I actually did this in 2024 as well, and I really liked it. So I'm just continuing that on. So you can see I color code Run, Walk, Peloton, or Orange Theory. And it's just, I started it in April. And it's just like a cool visual way to see, what my health year looked like, essentially. I have to finish filling out December in here, and I think maybe for 2025 I might color in the whole block, because I didn't really like the dots, and I didn't like how I started it where I covered up the day. But then when I started that, I kind of felt like I had to keep doing that for the rest of the year. So I might color in the whole block this year. I don't know, we will see. So again, we have Run, Walk, Peloton, and Orange Theory Fitness. I don't think I will add anything else. That's pretty much the extent of the types of exercise I do. A new thing I did add is right here at the end of every month, I'm going to add at the top what my miles total were for running. I am signed up for a full marathon in May. So this is going to be a great place for me to track all of that stuff. And I think it'll be neat to see the miles total at the top of every month. So I did a little practice round in December for the monthly views. Now this, I need to make a list of everybody that I got ideas from, because now I'm blanking on who I saw. I know that a lot of people do this, but there's somebody that I saw do this, and I will put their name on the screen once I go back through my screenshots and find it, because I want to make sure everybody's getting credit where credit is due. So this is where I track how long did it take. So this is obviously for reading, and each color is going to be a book that I was reading to or listening to, and I will put it in the calendar. I think it'll just be, again, a really nice visual way to see typically how long a book takes me. As you can see, I still need to finish filling out December in here. I do audiobooks, as well as I read a lot on my e-reader. I have a Kindle, and so that's why there's overlap. You're probably thinking, how are you reading two books at the same time? Yeah, one is an audiobook, and then one is the book that I read before bed. I also thought about putting new releases in here, ARC dates and things, but I'm not sure yet, because I could still put them at the top, since these colors aren't going to fill up the entire block. I still would have room. I'm not sure what I want that to look like just yet. So yeah, and here I have my Post-it note, and I think every month I'll add a little washi tape, make it decorate a little more. I just wrote out every month in here so far, and the rest of these are blank. Although I did put in, when I thought I was going to be doing new releases, I put a book in here. So I'm going to have to figure out what I'm going to do that week in April, where I already kind of made something in there. So it's okay. You live and you learn, and it's okay if it's not perfect. That's basically my motto with all journaling things. So then we get into the weekly pages. Now this was essentially a test run. This wasn't actually, I didn't do this during this week of November. I did it before, because I wanted to try to get my format kind of set in place, so I wasn't running into any sort of decision fatigue when it came to 2025. I do really like this minimalist look, but I love using stickers and markers. I love color. So you'll see on the next page what I think I'm going to end up doing, but I do like my format that I did here. So I'm going to put my miles run up here, because again, I'm running a marathon. So I'm going to these days will be filled out. And then over here, I had media consumed, and I kind of just write about what I'm listening to or reading or sometimes watching. I don't watch a ton of television, but if I do, or if there's a podcast or something I'm listening to, I can write about it in here, just anything that I want to remember. Now, when I finish a book, I'm going to put it in the week it was finished, and I got this washi tape off of Amazon. So you just cut right there, and then you can write right on the washi tape, and it actually writes well. wanted to make sure that I could actually use a pen and write on this because I was a little nervous about that. And it worked pretty well. So I'll put that, and then again, when I'm finished if I finish a book, and then I will write any memorable quotes. And then if there's anything I want to expand on over in here, I can always just draw some arrows. And then you know me, I love big numbers. I like icons, just things that pop out on the page so that when I'm quickly flipping through, I can see really quick like what was going on. So here I might just write what I was listening to and reading. I feel like that might be a little redundant, so I don't know if that will stay. We'll see. We're experimenting this year. And then this will be the total miles for the week. And I like doing this because then when at the end of the month, I can quickly flip through each page, count up my miles, and then go back and put it into my tracker. I'm using a 2024. I didn't want to have 2 Hobonichi weeks. I didn't want to be working in 2 Hobonichi weeks at the same time. But again, I decided I kind of wanted to switch my format. So I tried it again here in December. Now this was a fountain pen, so it didn't write as well, but it's still fine. And I think I might actually end up moving the washi tape when I finish a book and put it this way. I don't know. I'm going to keep trying things and try new things just to see. But this is an actual week. So this was what really happened during the week. And I haven't started my marathon training yet. It starts at the beginning of January. So I just put in what I did that week, other workouts. So I changed the description up here to just workout. And then I added in this stuff. Like I mentioned, I really do love using washi tape and stickers. So I am part of the Coco Daisy creative team for 2025, which I'm super excited about. And I received my first package and I used the washi tape and some stickers from some of the goodies that I got from Coco Daisy. And then you can see here kind of just what I wrote. And I clearly enjoyed this book. I don't typically highlight a lot of quotes, but obviously when it resonates with me, I highlight it. I'm just not a big annotator. I feel like it kind of just messes up my reading experience. And since I'm on a Kindle, it even more so, I don't know. But anyway, I don't need to ramble about that. These were the quotes that I really enjoyed or just connected with or felt there was something about the quote that I liked. So then I did run out of space because I liked a lot of quotes and they were long. So I added this little piece of graph paper, and underneath I also wrote the other books that I was listening to and reading that week. That's going to be how I use these pages. Like I said, things may change. I'm not letting myself get stuck in a format. If I'm not enjoying it or if it's not working for me, I am going to change it. So now we get into the back with the blank pages. And here I just bought these little colored tabs off of Amazon, and I just wrote what each thing is so I can easily get to it. This you are so used to from me because this is a format that I've been using for 3 years now. And I moved everything that I did not finish from 2024. That's a physical TBR. So these are books that I own in my home. Wrote them all down. My goal is to try to read all of these before I could buy a new book. Those over, and then I have my goal tracker, and this year I'm doing up 75. In 2024, right now I'm at 85, which is a lot. That's the most I've ever read in my entire life in 1 year. I don't want to be overly ambitious and think that I could hit that again. So 75 feels pretty good. That's still a ton of books, and it's just a fun way to kind of keep track throughout the year. Here is where I'm going to be including my library log. As I mentioned, I read almost exclusively through Libby, and so I really like to write down everything that I read through the library, and at the end of the year, total everything up and see how much I saved myself by reading through the library. So for 2024, I just took the paperback price off of Amazon. However, for this year, I am going to use whatever format it was that I read the book. So if it was a Kindle, if it was an ebook, I'll look up the price on Amazon for what an ebook would cost. If it was an audio book, I will look up what the audio would cost. And then it'll be a closer to a true representation to what I would have saved if I had read or listened to those books. 2 pages will do because in 2024, I only did one, and I basically in March or April, I was like, oh shoot, I'm gonna run out of space, and I had to kind of cut some pages out and move things around to add another page. So here is where I'm going to keep track of any arcs that I read and their pub date. I only receive arcs through, I'm totally blanking on the website. What is the main arc? Whatever it is. I'm on there, and every once in a while I will pick up an arc. I don't do a ton of it because I'm such a mood reader and I don't want to feel pressured to read a book simply because I have to get it done by the publication date. Like, I don't ever want it to feel like work or a job. So it's very open-ended here. And then since we did move, I am going to just kind of jot down the different bookstores that I check out in our new city. And this will just be a place to write. I'll probably just list the bookstore and then maybe give it a star rating or something. I don't know. I haven't really figured out like what exactly I'm going to say on this page, but I wanted somewhere to capture that. And you get into 2025 reads, which this is, I feel like what everybody knows me for. This is my format. This is where I put the pictures and I do the star rating and then the format in which I read the book. So this is 2024. This just works so well for me. It's a visual way to showcase every book that I read in a year, since I do read almost exclusively through the library. I don't own any of these books, so I don't have a bookshelf full of, all the books I've read. This is my visual bookshelf, if you will. And I enjoy this so much. It truly brings me so much joy, and it honestly motivates me to read more, because when I finish 4 books, I get to add them in here, and it is just a nice dopamine hit for me. I love flipping through this. And so that is what is going to be in here. I already messed up when I was writing my lines, but it'll be covered up once a book is in there. I just had to count, and I like to make the little marks just so I don't have to do more work later on. So I left enough pages this year, I think, for 90 books. I did the math and I counted, and I laid the washi tape down so that I would make sure I had enough space. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 pages. And then I think this also might be an extra space just in case. Now, after that is all done, I am going to start doing a monthly reading recap, because in Storygraph, every month you can look at your stats from the month. And so I'm just going to take those from Storygraph and put them in here. I'll draw them. I don't think I'm going to print out the visual that they give you. It is a nice visual, but I think I would prefer to kind of just be a little more creative and add some extra stuff in here. So you can see, I'm going to do the number of books read, the pages read, and then book of the month. I'm just going to just call out what my favorite from the month was. And then the pie chart that shows you, what was audio, what was digital, what was hard copy. And then the genre, I will either do as a chart or a pie. And then, I'm just pulling the stats from Storygraph. Okay, so I think that's it in terms of the reading stuff. Yeah, so I just laid out enough pages here, and then I put December here, so I knew how many pages I would need. And this will be December's page, because each month will only get 1 page. And then I do have a couple of blank pages in here, which I always like to have a couple extra, just in case. I have Peloton milestones, and this is just rides. I actually hit 10. I just hit 10, so I need to fill this one out. And 65 is insane, and I don't, especially with my marathon training, I don't think that I will get here, but that's what I did. So we'll just roll with it. And then for the stats, I'm just going to put the date, total output, distance, and calories. Again, just a cool visual way to see, what my workouts looked like during the year. I'm such a visual person, so it's really, I love seeing this kind of stuff. And then in my 100, I am going to track my Orange Theory workouts, and that's what these stickers are for. I got these off of Etsy. I'll just probably put a splat. I don't know. I actually don't know. Maybe I'll put the splats in the weekly pages, and then here I'll write maybe the date, splat points, and tread distance. And then, you know, I'm not going to get to 100, but it'll just be cool to kind of see all of my Orange Theory workouts on one page. Again, I think it's really cool to see everything visually. Oops, sorry, I bumped that. And then, yeah, the stickers I have in here, these are from Etsy. Looks like it's a hoot.com is who I got them from. And then I have these, which I'll probably use in my weekly views, which are from the Dandelion Diaries. And they're just nice handwriting because I don't have nice handwriting, and they just say currently reading. And so those will just stay in here because that's the only place that I will use those stickers. That is it for the 2025 Hobonichi Weeks for my health and hobbies. This one and the Wonderland are the two that I feel like I'm going to be talking about the most because the other ones don't really have a lot of setup. So like I mentioned, the next one I have is the 2025 Hobonichi Hon. This is the A6 size, and I used my overstimulated sticker because that is literally just my brain. Onyx is our favorite coffee brand, and they sent that sticker, so I wanted to use it. And then I have my Ohio and my Make Something Every Day. Inside, like I mentioned, this is really going to be for to-do lists and anything that maybe I want to jot down if I don't have time to journal that day. I can just kind of put some quick notes in here so that I can refer to it when I want to get my larger journal done. I do have some stickers that I'm going to keep in here since this is for work, and that's mostly content creating for, I have this channel and I have a travel page as well. So I just want to kind of have a place to do all of my work stuff. So these are just cute little edit stickers from the Coffee Monsters Co. And then these are little money. These are the tiny icons just for when I get paid. I want to kind of keep track of where I'm getting paid, who's paying me, just, you know, all that fun stuff. And then these are little microphones. So this will be for when I need to record voiceovers. And I think that's it for the stickers in here. Let me check and make sure there's none in the back. There might be some. Oh yeah, there's more in the back. I have. So for any time I have things to do for YouTube or Instagram, I have these little stickers. And I think they'll be great. Just again, it's like a nice quick visual so that I can, if I'm flipping through, I can see like, okay, these are the tasks I need to do for a YouTube video. These are a task I need to do for Instagram. For the monthly pages, I will show you what I'm doing this year. Again, this is all like work related, which is all my content. And I think I'll just continue this for the new year. So in here, I really just write like what I posted each day. I don't know if I'm going to keep up with this because I'm honestly not keeping up with it now. But I like to also at the beginning of every month write kind of my stats for each channel. So mostly Maddie on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. And then when I flip through each month, I can see like very quickly what my growth was on each account. I think that's really cool. I'm on different teams and work with different groups. And so this is kind of where I'm keeping track of how many posts, you know, their monthly requirements. So I just write them in here and then check them off as I get them done in the month. And like I said, I was writing all of this down. It kind of felt like a lot. And also since we were moving, it was just really hard for me to keep up with, and I wasn't posting nearly as much. But that's what my plan will be for the monthly pages. And then for the dailies, I mean, this is truly, it's kind of just, it's nothing cute. I just write whatever is like going on in my brain. I didn't use this like at all this year. I bought this and started it in the beginning of the year, and then I quickly realized that I wanted the cousin. So then I bought the cousin and really switched over. So I did not really use this, and that's okay. And I picked it up in the last quarter, and then I really was enjoying it. So I thought I would just grab one for the new year. Probably just keep this in my purse, and when ideas come to me, I can write them down. I did add tabs this year, which I think will be nice because it was always hard to figure out where I was. And I got these off of Etsy. I don't know. I can find the name and tag them in the description. But yeah, nothing in here. There's no setup. It's just going to be a blank slate. So that is everything for the Hobonichi A6 Hon. Now we move into the Rosey Life Planner, this is a leather cover journal that I received as a Christmas gift. It is absolutely stunning. This red is so beautiful and I love it so much. I just didn't really like the cover of the Rosey planner, and I should have went with the dusty pink, because then I could have just kind of covered it with stickers and it would have been fine. But this, I don't know, this pattern, I started putting stickers on it and it just was kind of looking weird. I just didn't really like it. So this is a great solution for me for this year. And I just think this leather cover is so beautiful, and obviously it can be reused after this year is over. It is from Jenica's Journals. I found her on Instagram and her page is through Etsy. I believe she's taking a break right now for the holidays, but if you are interested in like a really beautiful leather journal, I would highly recommend checking out her stuff. It is pricey, but in my opinion, this thing is going to be with me forever. It's absolutely worth it. Now, again, this is for memory keeping, so this is going to be what replaces my Hobonichi Techo cousin. So I use the same tabs that I used, and the format is identical to the Hobonichi Techo, almost exactly, except for a couple of the front pages. So I will be using it the same way. And I think for this first page, I'm actually going to make a collage of like a bunch of pictures from 2024. I just think that'll be fun to have that in here. And then for the calendar, I might just highlight when we're on trips. We have something planned for February, so that's what I did there. And then I moved into my Tombow swatches, which I like to have this within the planner that I'm using so that I can quickly reference when I'm like working on a page or a spread. I can just look really quick and see what color I need. And then at the beginning of the year, I'm just going to put some stats for each of our family members. And basically just, I think I'll do like age, I don't know, favorite, like some favorites maybe, favorite color, favorite whatever, just favorite like hobby thing they're into, just so that at the end of the year I can kind of see if everybody's the same, if we're like, you know, just things that have changed. I don't have a plan yet for the year to glance, so these might just remain blank. I really like the pages in here. This is a kind of like a habit tracker for each month. So this is January, February, March, and then each day from that month. I think that's really neat. I just don't know what I would use it for. And we have a blank page, and then you go into the quarters. So here is where I'm going to do what I did for 2025. My gosh, I'm getting my years mixed up. And I am just doing a photo a day in here. I absolutely loved doing this in 2024. And I think it's just a really fun way to print out pictures and document how my kids' faces are changing, how we're changing, what we were doing that day. And I'm using just some grid washi tape. And then from the Dandelion Diaries, I bought her monthly writing pages because, again, I don't have nice handwriting. So I thought it would just be fun to use hers. So the main difference between this and the Hobonichi is between each quarter you get these pages before the new month starts, so it's not straight through. And I need to figure out what I want to do with these, if any. Maybe again I could do some like fond memories, favorite memories from that month. I'm not entirely sure. We'll see. But yeah, this is it for setup. This is the only thing that I have done for setup for this one, because this one I actively just use every day. And then the weekly pages, I will likely continue doing my weekly reports that I do in 2024. I can show you really quick. And I just like that it's just like a quick at a glance, reading, eating, playing, obsessing, recommending, and treating. I never knew what to do with these weekly pages, and this has worked really well for me, and it's the only format for the weekly pages that I've been able to keep up with. So I think I will just carry that on into the new year. And yeah, every page, it's the same thing as the Hobonichi. You get a page per day, and I will just memory keep in here and have a lot of fun. So that's it for the Rosey Life Planner. This is the size A5. All right, and if you're still here, or if you skipped ahead, hello. We are at the Wonderland222 planner, and this is the weekend stacked version. I believe I got the core. I know they have a bunch of different varieties. for my stickers, I got Mudang, and that's from Bobo Design Studio. When we were in Palm Springs, I picked up this sticker. This butterfly and this 2025 are from my Dandelion Diaries. This is from Skeeta, which is like an outdoor brand. They just sent me a ton of stickers. And then this narwhal is from Ever Arbor. And I have to give a huge shout out to Dandelion Diaries because I bought this planner and I had no idea what I was intending to do with it. I was trying to find a replacement for my Hobonichi cousin, and I bought this and the Rosey Life planner and wanted to see which one was going to work. The Rosey Life is almost identical, like I mentioned, to the Hobonichi cousin, and this one is very different, and I was struggling. I love the format. I love everything in here, but I was like, how can I use this? Because I didn't want it to go to waste. I bought it. I want to utilize it. And I'm like, how on earth can I use this and make it work for me? And so thank you to Dandelion Diaries. I will be sure to tag her. And I went and bought some stuff from her shop because I felt like I owed her some of my money because so many of my spreads and ideas were directly pulled from when I was watching her YouTube video when she was setting up hers. And I was just really loving the way she utilized it, and so I kind of just took it and made a couple of tweaks, but this is going to kind of just be like for our family, and like, again, some of my health stuff just expanded from the Hobonichi Weeks, but this will really be like what we're doing every day, meal planning, adult stuff that I have to get done, that kind of thing. Just quickly go through this. I just love the sticker. I thought it was so funny, so I added that in here. I'm not totally finished setting this up, but I will go through what I have done. So again, directly from my Dandelion Diaries, I really liked this. She had an adulting log, and it's just kind of all the random things that you need to get done, and then you write down every month and just check off if you did that or not. And so it's not necessarily a habit tracker. It's not like I need every month to be checked off. It's just a good way to visually see when things were getting done. So some things that I wrote were, you can see, and yes, don't judge me, but once I'm done breastfeeding, that is going back onto my face. And yeah, this will just be a way to kind of track all of the random things. And I haven't finished this one yet, but again, I really loved what she did for her pages. And it was health, wealth, mental, creative, social, inspire. I think hers were a little different. I think I maybe changed, she had something like spiritual and I put creative instead. And then it's basically you're just laying out all your goals. So it's someday, 1 year, half year, quarterly, monthly, weekly, daily. And not every single one of these categories will have something for each of these, but she kind of made like a calendar view, and I just thought that was really neat. I'm very much this year wanting to goal set and just write things down, like manifest my destiny sort of. And I think that this is a great place to do that and see everything that I really want to try to accomplish for 2025. And same thing here. I just finished my mood/vision board for 2025, and I'm going to print that out and I'll put that over here and cover up this because I have no use for a 4-year calendar. Like I mentioned with my Hobonichi Weeks, I never use these pages, but I liked what she did again. And then I'm going to put a key here and then the color dots for this year for 2025. And it'll just probably be like travel, appointments, just I don't know, anything like that. I'm not totally sure about that. This might change, but the vision board will stay here for sure. Again, that's why I haven't done this one yet, because I was still kind of letting that simmer for a little bit. And for this year at a glance, I am going to be doing mood tracking. So I kind of already wrote my goal, TMI, but I definitely have some postpartum rage, and I've had it with previous children. I just had my third baby in March, and it's something that I've dealt with, and I'm working through it, and I want to be better. So I kind of just wrote a little bit about what I'm hoping for in 2025. And then I have my mood key, so I will just fill in every day. I don't know if I'll keep up with this. We'll see. I've never really been a mood tracker person, but I think because there is something that I'm trying to correct, I think it'll be good to track it at least for a little while and see what happens. Now for these pages, you get the quarterly and then a big blank page of notes. I think for the first half of the year, this is where I might also put in my miles run again, because I think it'll be a nice visual way to showcase that. And then I will break this up and maybe have a little section in here and just kind of talk about just my health journey and how things are going, how I'm feeling, anything like that. So again, this isn't quite set up yet, but I really wanted to get this video done, and this is my only free time. That is what's happening. And for here, again, Dandelion Diaries, thank you so much. I really like she had body measurements. So I'm going to do a photo, which no one else will ever see, but it'll be a pic at the end of 2024. And then I'm going to do one for mid-year 2025 and then end of year. So I'll put them like this. And then I can kind of just visually see like the physical progress that my body has made or changed throughout the year. This is 2024, December. I'm obviously not using that. These are like habit tracking pages. I don't know. I'll find something to do with this page. I just don't know what that is yet. And then for here, I am just going to use this as a traditional habit tracker. These will probably change every month, just depending on what's going on in my life. But right now for January, this is what I have set up. We have vitamins, journal, reading, 7K steps, an hour outside, no or low spend, movement, water, AM and PM face routine, and then if we got takeout or not, just because I like to track to see what's going on there. So that'll, every month we'll fill that out. I played with a format for December. I used some watercolor pencil, and I don't love it, but you know what? It was an experimental page, so that's fine. But this is going to just be used as a traditional write everything down that we have going on that month, and that I just wanted to kind of see what that would look like. And then when we get into the weeks, so you can kind of see here, these are the blank pages. So you get this chunk up here for each day, and then you get your time block, and then you get another chunk at the bottom. So I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do, because I tried this in my Hobonichi cousin in the weekly layout, and I didn't stick with it. I did it a couple of weeks, and then it just felt like not enjoyable, and I didn't really want to do it. So I've just been experimenting a little bit. I'm not sure if that's really what I'm going to do. We will see. TBD on that. Now, at the end of every month, it has a December review. So I'll probably just do like a by the numbers at the end of every month. I love stats and all of that kind of information. So we'll see what ends up getting put in here. But yeah, that is the plan for that. January overview. This was something that was in my Hobonichi Hon, and it's the work related stuff I have. I just feel like it'll be nice to take a look. I might just plan out some creative projects in here and write some things that I want to do, or just like post ideas, anything like that will go in here. And then anything that I have coming up, I might do like some meal planning in here as well. We will see. So I set up the rest of the months, and I did it. I am happy with what I ended up doing for the rest of the months. I didn't really like December, so I'm just keeping it clean and simple. And like I mentioned, this will just be like holidays, birthdays, appointments, events. It will just be used as a traditional calendar. So here I did kind of try to work through maybe what the format will look like. So I'm thinking I might break it into different sections, because I don't really use the time blocks. Like I said, for my life right now, I'm a stay-at-home parent. Our days aren't planned out to the minute. I'm not working in a traditional like 9-to-5 job. So these just don't really work for me. So I might do a block here, and I'll just write down our meals. So every day for dinner, I'm just tracking dinner because that's the meal that I like to plan out. And then maybe the second one will be like today to-dos, just things that I want to get done for that day. And then the top will be events. If my kids have anything going on, like swim, gymnastics, library, story time, anything like that, will go there. And then at the top, I might just put the weather. So I might, at the beginning of every week, just write in what the high and low is supposed to be for every day. Just again, for general planning, just to kind of help us see what we're going to do for that week. And again, weekly tasks, meal prep, and tracking, that will all kind of live on these pages. I did set up a couple of weeks just because I mentioned I am part of the Coco Daisy creative team, and I was playing around with the stickers for February, and I was just having a lot of fun. So this feels a lot more doable than like writing everything down. I don't know. Again, I'm so open to having things be different every week. It doesn't have to be the same every week. I'm I'm trying to break my brain and like remind myself it doesn't have to look cohesive. It doesn't have to be all the same, and that's okay. This is for me. It's not for anybody else. Last thing I will share in here is the back pages. You have a bunch of blank like daily pages, which I'm not going to be using in the traditional sense. Shocker. Once again, this will be a lot of crossover from the Hobonichi Weeks. So I'm super curious to see what I will end up keeping up with. I always like to start off my year using everything and then tweaking and changing as the year goes on to, make what works for me work. And so I do have a running log in here, which will be date, time, distance, miles. And I just left a couple of pages for that. The next little section is a coffee shop log because, again, we moved and there's like 30 or 40 coffee shops in my city. So I'm determined to try a bunch of different places out. So I'm just going to write the date, the shop name, and then maybe my drink order or something that I liked at the shop, just some sort of note, a way to remember it. So I have 2 pages for that. And then the next one is going to be a hiking log where I just track places we hiked because I do have my hiking journal, but this will just be a place where I can quickly look and see places that we hiked because we are a big hiking family and we're outside all of the time. This will be a place to put just 5-star books, just to have them all be in one place together. Again, I probably could do a page like this in my Hobonichi Weeks, but I put it here, so we'll see what I end up doing. Who knows? And an album review because I love listening to new music and I am a big fan of listening to an album from start to finish, like all the way through as it's intended to be listened to. And so here's a place where I'm just going to, I'll probably print a picture of the album and then just jot any notes, maybe favorite songs, things I liked about it. Music is such an important part of my life, and I think this will be a fun one to fill out. And I might do my Ferris wheel press ink swatches in here. I'm not sure yet. Again, the Post-it notes are a beautiful thing because I can just take it out if I don't end up doing it. Then we have a supply log and pen test. So this is kind of inventory of everything I currently have and how it looks in this paper, which I always like to do swatches and tests and things like that just to see how it's performing on the paper. And then again, I have my Tombow swatches. Yes, I did 2, and don't come at me for it. I like to have them. And then I did my mild liners, which these will probably be mostly used for the monthly tracking in my Hobonichi Weeks when I'm tracking like the different books. I'll just pick, because these come in packs. So I'll just pick a pack and I'll use that pack for the month. So I just kind of wanted to see how they looked on paper. And then I have some Rye-Tech highlighters, and I will leave this open-ended for any more supplies that I want to test in here. I don't know if I will keep up with this one, but because I do tend to take the coffee bags and put them in my coffee journal. So I just again, do I want to be redundant? I'm not sure. It might just be fun to see how much coffee we buy throughout the year, just a different way to track that. And here's a place where I'm going to write any notes and thoughts on Cincy neighborhood. So as I've mentioned many of times, we moved and we are currently in a rental. So we are going to be on the hunt for a house to purchase. And the reason we didn't buy immediately is because we're not familiar with the area. We're not familiar with the different neighborhoods. So this will be a place for me to just journal and log any thoughts or feelings I have about different neighborhoods so that we can help narrow down our search for when we eventually do buy a home. And I think that's it for now. I think that's all. Yep, everything else is blank. I just added some washi tape in the back. I thought that was really fun, and I used this Radiate Love sticker, and then I did a little swatch check here just to make sure the paper was good, and it is, because this is the original Tomoe River paper, so I was very excited to see that it performed beautifully. Like I just talked for a very, very long time. If you stuck through for the whole thing, thank you so much. If you have any questions or comments or even feedback or ideas for any of my planners, I'm always happy to hear them and discuss, because I have binge watched so many planner setups for 2025. I got so much inspiration from other people, which is why I thought it would be fun to do mine just so I could help, further inspire people or just give different ideas of ways to use different pages and different planners. And since I'm using 3 different planner systems, Hobonichi, Rosey Life, and Wonderland222, I thought it would be fun to just do this little video. Thank you so much for watching and listening, and I will be sure to include lots of details in the description if you have specific questions about anything. Like I mentioned, happy to answer anything. And thank you to everybody who inspired me or inspired a format in here. I will be mentioning them as well because I gotta give credit where credit is due. And thank you for being here. I'm hoping to create a lot more content on YouTube for 2025, so I hope you will stick around. If this is your first video from me, please hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any new videos. Bye!